All right, so now that we have our document set up and our tools selected and ready to go, it's time to start making our lines. Now, the pen tool is a really diverse tool and it gives us a lot of options when it comes to making lines, whether it be curved or straight. Today, we're focused on making straight lines. Now, to do this and to get started, to continue our line here, I want everyone to start here and we can do this one together. We're going to start in the middle, and to get going, we need to click on our anchor point, and as we start to move away, we notice that we start having a line. Now, to make your line, what you'll do is you just get to the next little section here that I have, and we'll just click once, and that will connect our line. Now, we can just keep going here and try and change your line up. You don't want to go straight across. The more variation you have in the angle of your line, the more interesting it's going to be. I would also recommend zooming in so you can get really detailed and close. So again, to zoom in is Command plus, and then to zoom out is Command minus. So again, we're just single clicking and we're just going all the way across. Once we get to the end here, it should just stop on our own. Don't worry about finishing this up. We'll do that at the end. So if we're ready to move on to the next line, for example here, all we need to do is go to this anchor point right here. We're just going to click once with our mouse. Be sure that you don't click and drag, because if you click and drag, what it's going to do is give you what we call a handle, and that handle is going to make your line curved. So be sure that you are only single clicking. Do not click and drag. Again, do not click and drag. Now, if you do click and drag on accident, that's okay. Just hit Command Z and then you can start right back over just by single clicking. Now, be sure that we're trying to keep these relatively parallel. So try and keep them at least close to being parallel with the line ahead. Again, once we get a few lines made, I think it's best to then maybe switch it up and give it a kind of a wild, little crazy angle there going on. And then that way we'll have some variation in our lines. So once you make a big change, like notice how like this line just has a really shallow arc right here, or angle, and notice how I made a really big angle down here. Once you make a big change like this, on the next pass, be sure that you're going relatively parallel with that line. And that way it'll just kind of fill out more once we get to the final drawing. Now you're going to repeat that same process by single clicking and moving through. Take your time, think about kind of what this might look like at the end. You'll start to notice how it's coming together the more you make lines. And then once you make about 10 lines, see what you can do to kind of change it up and maybe make a really dramatic angle later on, and then maybe go back and then continue. And notice kind of what the difference is going to make as you make those drastic changes to the direction of your line.